Peace, 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 family. Sister Victoria X here with thehealthyhue.com. And I'm coming to you with another video. Okay. And it was it's a video that I've been avoiding for a long time, and it's actually a video that I didn't want to make. If I'm being 100% honest, I did not want to make this video. I just wanted to silently transition over. But something about that didn't sit right. Because for me, in my mind, the silent transition is, being on both sides, getting training from both sides, kind of being in stealth mode. And I like to be free. I like to be able to express myself. I like to be able to talk to people how I want to talk to people. And so the silent transition for me, just couldn't work, right? It just could not work. And so, for the past 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks at this point, I've been mulling over this decision and trying to figure out exactly what it is that I'm going to do. And also trying to figure out how I wanted to make the transition. So it's been a long time coming. And during that period of time, I did not hop on any trainings. I wasn't really involved in my current team because I just felt like I was robbing, because I already knew that I wasn't going to be there, or there was, hey sis, assalamu alaikum. I already knew that I was like, in the middle. I didn't know what exactly I was going to do. So I didn't want to, steal training or whatever, even though I was still on the team. I was still actively paying my auto ship. I was still, buying products here and there. But the silent transition just does not work for me. And I wasn't going to make this video, but I thought to myself that I didn't want to confuse my customers. I didn't want to confuse my audience, because once I start posting the new products, I didn't want it to be like, oh, well, what happened to that? So I wanted to make this video just to be clear and just to kind of get it out of the air. And the beautiful thing is that I already talked to my prior leadership, and I already talked to them, and they're just so dope, honestly. And that was another part of, difficult part, because when you build with people and you become friends and you become family with people, it's kind of different. It feels different when you are trying to make a transition to something else that's might not be in alignment with the relationship that you have with those people. So this video is just kind of like one of those videos, like I'm going to be transitioning to a new business as far as selling detox tea and multivitamin and energy supplements. And I have 3 reasons. It might grow to something bigger, right? As I'm talking, but the main reason was it became too uncomfortable to stay where I was. Because, at first when everything happened, to me, praise be to Allah, wa alaikum salam, sis. For me, initially, I didn't, and I'm going to be very transparent. Some people might be like, oh, but this is not your story. So, you can keep that. So for me, when the statement was initially made, right, I didn't see any malice. I really didn't see anything wrong, because when I am used to seeing people say all lives matter, it's come from a very derogatory state. It's a very matter-of-fact state. I didn't see that, right? I did not see that. I saw ignorance, right? I saw someone that was a head of a company. I saw someone that was a head of a company, and they knew that they were the head of the company, and he just didn't want to say the wrong thing, right? That's what I saw. And so to me, it wasn't that big of a deal, right? And so as the time went on, I felt like it was just a bit too much for me, because to me, when I make a mistake, I say I apologize, because I know that it was a mistake. And then after that, I just kind of go on. You know what I mean? I go on with my life. You know what I mean? And if someone asks about it, that's that. But it became too much for me when it was just like an excessive push to almost, I don't want to say assuage or I get the apology. An apology is necessary when you make a mistake, but it was just too excessive for me, like changing the website and putting stuff on receipts and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was a bit much, and it made me think like, okay, so what was the real intention behind what was said if you have to do so much to make people believe it was an accident, right? And then, so I kind of almost looked over that until recently, until I was like very clear, because to me, when I was deciding afterwards to continue to move on and sell the products, I was thinking to myself, I was like, it's not about him for me. It's always been about the products, right? The products do what they do. And that's what I would tell people. They do what they do. They help people. I have clients that, you know, have had so many different issues, and these products have literally saved them from not being able to sleep, saved them from having headaches and head pains, saved them from being energy depleted because they had multiple children. It's paid for people's college tuition. It's done a lot of things. So the products really do what they do. And so that's the mindset that I had. And I had to really think of whether or not I had a bias, right? Because I love the product so much. Was I overlooking the magnitude of what was being said or what was being done? But the thing that really nailed it home for me, and like I said, this is a matter of perspective. Some people, you know, what I'm about to say, they did this because they have a connection to him. I don't have a connection with him. So it might be different for them. But for me, I wasn't really with the whole lullabying that or pandering that came after, with all the videos and everybody that looked like me, making all of these videos talking about, really in my mind, it was almost like an excusatory video, saying that I'm standing with XYZ, I'm 10 toes down, which you can be, right? But the thing that I didn't like was the imbalance in the conversation, right? When it, on one end, when we're talking about what was said, we're talking about it in a real soft tone. We're making excusatory statements. We're saying all this stuff. But on the other end, when we're talking about the backlash and the response, we're very negative. We're very aggressive. We're saying things that, to me, is not an advancement to our people, right? Well, you know how we are. But it's like, well, if we're being real, we know how they are. And you can take it however you want. But I had to really sit down and think to myself, like, am I really comfortable? Am I really comfortable? And a lot of the decision was because I got a dope team. I had a dope team. I had dope training. My sponsor is and was amazing. To this day, I'm still watching her videos. So that was very difficult for me because I don't have a story to where TLC did me wrong. I don't have a story to where I wasn't making any money. I don't have a story to where my sponsor was trash. I don't have a story to where my training was off the mark. I had all of those things, and I was still uncomfortable. I was still not comfortable moving forward because I had to realize that it's not about my relationship with those people. And I'm glad I had the conversation, because my conversation with them actually gave me the comfort level that I have to have this conversation, because they were just dope. They said, we understand. You got to do what you got to do. There's no bad blood. And so I was comfortable in making this video because I'm one of those people, I don't want anyone to feel disrespected by what I'm saying. Especially when I love them. Like, I had a team, y'all, like a low-key family team, or at least that's how I felt about it. And so the next thing that I had to also think about for me was that, was I biased because I enjoyed the products and the products were helping my my customers and helping my clients? Was I biased towards what was being said because I knew that the product was still changing lives? So I had to ask that to myself, because I literally said, because it doesn't seem that bad for me, I want to still push the products because it's still helping people. And that was when I knew about TAVA, right? And so I was thinking, like, am I really putting products before my people, right? And some people will say, well, if the company is not, if the manufacturer is not black owned, then it don't matter where, if you shop with a black owned business, because the sourcing is not black. But I had to think to myself, and I pushed that narrative too. Sidebar. Sis, Sister said, I gotta talk to you about that off on something else. I would consider, but not at this time. And so, dang, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I had to think, was I putting the products before my people, right? Because the whole idea, there we go. I was pushing the narrative too. If the manufacturer not black owned, then the company don't really matter because it's not sourced by black people. But I'm thinking to myself that with that logic, right? If the sourcing person is not black, but the middle person is black or white, then why wouldn't I want to make the middle person rich that's black? If there's going to be a middle person, if there's going to be an intermediary between me and the source, then why would I not pick my own? So I had to really think about that, and it was so many weeks, and I don't want to say I feel ashamed, but I do feel kind of disheartened at myself that it took so long to make the decision, because the way that I'm taught, in my mind, it should have been an automatic decision. It should have been an automatic go. And maybe if I had a trash team, it would have been an automatic go. But that was the difficulty of it. And I see now that because they are who they are, they have the level of integrity that they have, that it's not a difficult thing, because they didn't press, they weren't pressing nothing. They just understood. And that's part of what I loved about them. And then that's really the last thing. So I wanted to make the transition. I wanted to make this video so that people would understand when I start moving over the other products. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't continue because I love our people. I done bought so many black owned products, and this was before going black was like this whole big thing. Like, anytime I anytime I could, I would. So, you know, for me to be so passionate and be so consistent with buying black, and then give myself a pass on not promoting a black owned business, I had to, the prayers, y'all. The prayers. And so, you know, I still love the products to this day. And if my clients don't feel comfortable, if they don't want to move forward with me and transition over to the new company, I got somebody for you. And she will definitely take care of you. But right now, I'm transitioning over to TAVA completely. It is a black owned health and wellness business. And here is the tea that they have. And so I will say this, that if you are interested, and because it's new, a lot of people don't know about TAVA and all that stuff. If you are interested, I am dropping a link in the comments, that if you're interested in trying the tea, I'm doing a 3-day trial for, I would say for free. If you hit me up in my inbox, it's going to be free. But if you go to the link, the very first link, it's only going to be $1. Because I wanted to do it through PayPal, because PayPal will be able to extract your information, so I don't have to do too much work on the back end. And then it'll only be $1. It'll be a 3-day supply. I also have a 5-day and 10-day supply available as well, and it's for discounted prices. I usually do 5 for $25, but for this I'm going to be doing 5 for $20, because I just want you guys to feel and experience the products as I transition over. But inbox me if you want it for free. If you just want to go click the link, go ahead. It's only $1 for a 3-day supply. I'm covering the shipping, and it does come with tracking. So I just wanted to say that. I really hate that I had to make this video, but I felt like it would be a disservice to my clients as well as my audience if I did make the video, because it's very weird when somebody do a switch up and you ain't know that they were switching up. So that is all that I have for you. I'm going to do another video probably within the next 5 minutes of me cutting this off, so tune in if you're available. But that is all that I had to share with you. So Sister Victoria X signing out with thehealthyhue.com, and of course I'm always accepting team members, people, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.